Hi, welcome to the G Spot with Mzgee here on the JoyPrime channel on Multi TV and on DSTV channel 281. And the battle for supremacy or recognition between a man and a woman has been long fought. You know that women have cried for equality long overdue. We've got that recognition because women are becoming presidents of nations and women are becoming, corporate leaders. Some women are even becoming head of your families. I don't know how true that is, but I'm being told that these days you can have a woman who's the head of the family. But I thought the Bible said that the man was supposed to be the head. Well, today we are going to find out how men feel when they have a partner who earns more than them. Because most often we hear that the women who earn more than their partners become very disrespectful. And sometimes they are unwilling to share these earnings with their partners. The men are joining us first. You know how we do it on a G-Spot. We have the men, the women, and then the battle of the sexes. In this segment, we have the men joining us first. And I start from my extreme left. We have the man. I have a terrible voice. Let me try and sing. I don't know if it's Pempelempe, but I know that Bessa Simon has been along for quite a while. He's a musician, the vice president of the Musician Union of Ghana as well. And he's going to join us on the set with this discussion. Also next to Bessa Simon and on my immediate left is Dcryme, baby. This is the song from My Beautiful Girl, Can You Feel It? And he has a new one out. It's titled, or it's called Models. I don't know which people are modeling for him, but today I'm his model here on set, here on JoyPrime. You're welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start with our set. Let's start with our set. It's the first time you're joining us for a discussion on the G-Spot. So tell us your first impressions about our set and, what you see here.
Jennifer first.
He says you should go first.
Yes. Okay, I think it's beautiful, very beautiful settings. Everything here is lovely, and you are looking so beautiful.
Thank you very much.
I'm well impressed.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be here today.
We are glad to have you. Thank you for honoring our invitation. Dcryme.
One thing I can say is that I feel say Jumaku, because we see a lot of shows on TV and the next time you don't even want to watch it. But then the set, if it catches your eye, why not? It makes you want to see it the next time and you always want to, anticipate what's going to come. But if it's too predictable, I have stopped watching a lot of shows.
Oh.
But the reason why I watch G-Spot, one is because of the settings.
Thank you very much. And we must say a very big thank you to OAP Deco. We are actually shooting from their premises. They gave us this beautiful set. So if you want the setting for your living room, for your office, you want the setting for your dining hall, you need to come through OAP because they have all kinds of furniture, and also they have a lot when it comes to your kitchenware, room decor, office decor, everything you need to keep your memories beautiful. You need to come to OAP Deco because they say they want to make beautiful memories with you. They're located on the Spinks Road, close to Flower Pot. Come through and you get some good discounts from OAP. Now let's delve into the discussion. I'm going to throw the question right to you, Uncle Bessa, because look at the way you're adjusting yourself. Okay, so I hear that men are actually intimidated by women who earn much more than they do.
Well, what can I say? I think it's a new thing. It never used to be like that. I mean, when we were growing up, our dads, our fathers used to be the, head of the family. They go to work, they come home, and, they bring in the money, and your mother will manage the money, but the final say always comes from the dad. But these days, as it's changing, I think to some women, it's a new thing for them. They see it as power. Now I'm earning more.
We've been tamed for far too long, so now,
Wait, have you been tamed?
Well, that's what it looks like, We've been fighting for this for far too long, so now we're in charge,
No,
Doesn't it come across as such?
No, you have not been tamed. I think what it is this is a new area for you. Now you've been empowered, earning more money, so you think you should be, the final say should be coming from you, which is to men is not proper. To men it's a new thing, and when someone gets this power, new power, sometimes they can go a bit astray, say what they're not supposed to say, forget their women and this is a man, you know, that kind of
Let
thing.
me just pick you up before I come to Dcryme.
Okay.
So when they get this new power, they can go astray.
Some of them.
Okay, some of them. But when the men realize that there's somebody who has got new power, why can't they also accommodate this new power?
Oh, I mean, most men would like to make sure that, hey, I'm still your man. You know, please don't just push me under the table. I'm still your man, you know. I make the decisions. If you cannot, you know, because I mean, anyway, let me leave it like that.
Leave it like that first and let Dcryme come in with a submission, because I'm sure the women are listening to you and they are already ready to devour you if you don't take care. And so, but Dcryme,
yes.
What is it that is the problem? Is it the fact that because Uncle Bessa says that it's new to us and now the men are finding it difficult to accommodate that, you know, the women go astray, some women go astray when they begin to assume this new territory of earning more than the man?
So let me take you back. I think that our first creation, it was Adam and Eve. It could have been Eve and Adam, but it came as Adam and Eve. So a man was born to lead, regardless. Now, as much as I respect equal gender rights, give a power to a woman and majority always abuse it. Listen, let me be frank with you. Jah get mind though. That'd be why he created man. And you see, he could have just molded women out of them directly, but he just took one rib. The ribs are 6. He said, Brema, keep the 5 for that person. And I'm just giving you 1 to create a woman. So, because you know, God knows that if you put power for woman in hand first, the beatings for men will be serious.
Really?
That's one. They're tossing me, you know. You see, let me be frank. Forgive me if I'm taking you back to the Bible. It's something that we've all read in its history. Now, inside the gardens, Adam knew all the fruits. He knew what to eat and not. That fruit where he did, the way you go taste them. You think that Adam now you no get sense. If the woman tell him, say, bro, you did cheap. That's the way he did there. In knowledge, you see, and the woman, wherever she had that authority from, she was able to persuade the man. And when the man too sinned, again, it comes back to the woman. We pointed the women. So when the power comes back into the woman's hands first, bro, or sister, my dear sister, believe you me, like by this time, I'm sure we'll be marking register of wherever, what we do from morning till we sleep. Like, please, madam, yes, that's what I think is happening now.
But aren't you supposed to, okay, so is the woman accountable to you?
I mean, basically, I think that the fact that we are leading, or let me say, first created, we were supposed to be accounted to us.
There's something you said,
yes,
that you say when you give woman the power, she abuses it. Which of the women have you given power, or which woman do you know?
Plenty.
Or where? Plenty.
Let me give you an example.
Give me one.
People, forgive me, but people even live with people that they've even given birth 1, 2, 3 times where they don't even know.
I don't get that.
Yes, because at the end of the day, you thought you had a wife. You didn't know you had a wife who you were fathering somebody else's kid.
Oh.
That's one.
That's one.
But if you
that's one in like a million.
1 in a million. That's like a million in one. I mean, with a category like 90% or 10%, men just owning the right and the women having the upper hand. Basically, like I said, I respect equal gender. But when you drop the power into the women's hand, you see things where now you know even day, or you never even imagine say good day.
Uncle Bessa, I'm sure you're surprised. You know what you said? I'm sure you're surprised listening to Dcryme.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's saying his experience, you know. But I mean, I think the whole thing is not many women from back in days, not many women are very comfortable with managing affairs, you know. So when they get it first, you know, obviously there will be so many mistakes. And I think there should be the man. So
you're saying that women are uncomfortable. They are uncomfortable with managing affairs. They haven't been in the terms of, you know, management. Is that what you're saying?
Most women. Most women. Yeah, I mean, it's only.
I thought you said initially that
even
back
in Iran now, I think it's just now that women are being allowed to drive. You know what I'm saying?
But so, I thought you said initially that when back in the day when the men go make the money, the women were managing the money.
Yeah. They manage the money in the house. But when it comes to the last command, you know, but mind you, I mean, as the whole progresses, I will tell you why I'm saying this. You see, men are always thinking because we are the hunters, whether we have the money or not, we'll go and hunt. We are always looking at the broader picture, you know, to see that, okay, the kids are okay, the wife is okay, you know, nieces and nephews are okay, friends are okay, you know, men, we do that, you know. But, you know, women, you talk to yourself, you know, women will talk to themselves, and they come with that idea. Women are easily convinced by their friends, so go and slap your husband and then bow.
Really?
Yeah,
bow.
you know. But my point is, it is a new area for women, and most women cannot handle it. They cannot manage it. They become too big, too pompous, you know. Even a woman that will say, oh, darling, you
see, this is one thing I believe in. Most times we are fighting for things that we can't even control and manage. Just like this equality thingy. Hey, what men can do, women can do better. I think it's a phrase that they easily say, I'm prepared for. Most times people want to be in some positions whereby they are not even mentally prepared or physically ready for it. And that is what is happening lately. Because like, hey, if a man can be a president, woman can be a president, who could do enough, then she can't even do anything about it. But meanwhile, they are rooting for that position. That is what is happening now. Because remember, those days, love sweet past money. But now, no money, no shoddy. So things have changed.
Well, this is how we wrap up the first segment with the men. The women have been listening in. I'm sure they have a lot to disagree with. I'm sure you are home also thinking through some of the things Bessa Simons and Dcryme have said already on the G-Spot. We'll be back after the break.
Some women, when they have a little bit of a power, let's say over the man, especially, again, even if they're insecure, they do tend to want to be in control. It's the same as a man does.
A father and a child, or a master and a slave, they think that's, you know, a woman not handling the power well, or a woman, you know, going astray. What is astray? Is the woman your child?
Welcome back from the break. You're still watching the G-Spot here on Joy Prime with me, Mzgee, and the show is proudly brought to you by Gandor Cosmetics, the producers of UB Hair Relaxer. You want to relax your hair? Look no further. Get UB and look as sexy and beautiful like the ambassador Jackie Appiah. And also special thanks to Orca Deco for entertaining us. They are hosting us here at their premises. If you love our sets, come through Orca. You get enough to buy for your home because they want to make beautiful memories with you. My makeup was by Ellis Makeover. Her number is on the screen. You can contact her for your parties. You know, if you want bridal makeup, any kind of makeup, Ellis would be there to serve you. Now we are back to the discussion. Are men intimidated by the earnings of their partners? If you didn't watch the first segment with the men, Bessa Simons and Dcryme, oh my goodness, you should find it on social media, and you can keep your comments coming as well on social media. It's at Joy Prime Official on Twitter and Instagram. Now, Stephanie Benson, the woman of all shades. This woman never has a dull moment. I haven't seen her any time dull. She's always on fire. And she's got beautiful tunes. There's one with her family. She brought the whole family. It's like trying to be an angel. That's what's called. Is it?
No, it's Dear Lord.
Okay, Dear Lord. Yes, that's what it's called. And I love that song. I love the fact that she brought all the family together. And she'll be joining us here for the female discussion on how men get intimidated by the earnings of their partners. And also Angela Bamford. Angela Bamford. Angela Bamford is a television presenter with Kwesi TV. And she and I go long, way back. There are some things I'm going to reveal to you on this show.
Please.
Like, get ready. I'll ask you. But ladies, you're welcome to our set.
Thank you.
You look great.
Thank you. You look smashing as well. I love the fact that
we are matching, right?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional.
Fight against those men and what they said.
Oh no, they're just idiots. I don't even know why they're like. Even it's like, I mean, the guy.
But Uncle Bessa is part of them.
I love Uncle Bessa, and I think he was talking some sense, a little bit. But I mean, the other Dcryme, I think that he has a problem.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think he was just challenge. Maybe they dropped him on his head when he was born. I mean, it has to be something
when
like that.
he joins us on the battle of the sexes, I'm sure Dcryme will face you squarely.
Oh, he should come.
He will face you squarely.
Me, I'm ready for him.
By your initial remarks, you've been listening to the men talk about how they think that this is a new era for the women, and that's what Uncle Bessa says. Dcryme says it's a no-go area.
Mr. Simon said that it's a new era for women. I have to disagree with him. Women have been in power for a very long time. If you go back in history, we have the Zenobias, the Cleopatras, Margaret Thatcher of England. So it's not a new era. You understand? It's just that Africans and our mentality, we tend to think that women, it's a new thing. No, we just have to allow women to be women. I don't understand why it has to be a gender thing even. You understand? Why is it a man versus a woman thing? Why can't it just be partners?
Well, I think it always be. First of all, I think we have to give them credit for the fact that they're stronger. But I'm going to challenge that when they come out. But, you know, we'll see. But then, and also...
Stronger, you mean in strength?
Stronger, as in strength, I think that's the only thing. But when it comes to
but there are women who are stronger than men.
Oh, that's why I'm saying I'm going to put it to
general,
test in a minute.
Yeah.
But then, it's just... And I think that sometimes... You know, it's like when you go to the villages, for instance. I mean, you've been to the villages.
Yeah.
You see that a lot of the men usually are carrying the cutlass, and the woman is carrying the baby on her back, and then with the basket on their head, and carrying everything as he strolls in front, not even caring. And sometimes I see the woman carrying the shopping, even in Accra, in the cities, carrying the shopping while the man is strolling in front. Sometimes even the baby, the woman is carrying the baby. I see women in Makola carrying 4 or 5 boxes on their head, and the man is just like walking. Nobody will stop to help. Listen, we know who we are. We know what we're about. And it's like in my household, for instance. I mean, I run my household. Yeah. Nobody tells me what to do. My girls are in control.
But is it because you make more than your husband?
No. Listen, my husband was making 6 figures before I met him, and when I met him. And it just happened, like when he retired, he wanted to be home. So I decided to be the breadwinner. I mean, I was working, yes, I was making money, but not as much as my husband was. But I still run my home. Not because I run him, it's because I know what I want. You know, when a woman believes in themselves, they're in power. See, if you have insecure men, then they always find insecure women. And then if you make a woman insecure enough, then they become a little weak. So maybe that's where Dcryme is coming from. He's so insecure in himself that he's finding a weaker woman. So that's okay. You know,
going off of that, I have to agree with you and also add that men are all about their egos. They like to be in charge. Be in charge. They like their egos to be massaged. So once they find a woman who's willing or who wants to be a partner, not a father and a child or a master and a slave, they think that's, a woman not handling the power well, or a woman, going astray. What is astray? Is the woman your child? You understand? Is your wife your child? Is your girlfriend your child? No, you guys are partners. You work together to achieve a goal. If I'm working and making more money, so what? I will still treat you like my man.
No, but like when you're making more money, you begin to grow wings. You know, you can decide what you want.
But like she said, it's an ego thing. It's
an ego. I think it happens in both parts. You see, sometimes some women can, yes, I mean, this is where I say Bessa was a bit right there, because some women, when they have a little bit of a power, let's say over the man, especially, again, even if they're insecure, they do tend to want to be in control. It's the same as a man does. So when a woman is making a lot of money, maybe they can be a little bit, cutting and bossy. I mean, women were bossy naturally, but then sometimes that can go. I've seen that happen. Yeah. But that's also because, again, they're not in control. They're afraid the man is going to go somewhere else, and then cheat on them. So they want to sort of keep them under control. The man does exactly the same thing. I mean, I think a woman in power is one that will make your man feel good, still make money, still be able to look after the children, and then still give you, me, when I'm in the bedroom, I'm a freak in the bedroom for him, because I want to be. And occasionally, I want him to listen, sweetheart, today you're going to dress up for me. And then he does. It's the way it should be. I think it's just about being powerful in yourself. So it's differentiating between men and women as, we don't know how to think, as Bessa was saying. Then I'm thinking, maybe because he can't think. So he needs to think for the insecure woman that he has. Because I don't get it. I mean, how can he even think like, did you go to school? I don't get it. I I know Bessa did.
Okay.
Because back Dcryme, I think he left.
And let's take a fine. Oh, really? Dcryme and Bessa will definitely be back here. But let's take a final remarks before we get the men.
So for me, I don't want religion to be an excuse. God took Adam's rib, and so he only used one and left the 5. And so a man is above the woman.
Kind of Bible did that.
I don't know. You have a brain. I have
really
a brain.
read the Bible.
You understand? And like Bessa Simon said, and maybe partly or partially true, is that it's a new era. Women now want equality. You understand? When you say equality, it doesn't mean I want to be above you. It just means I want to be your partner. I want the same rights you're getting. So in that case, I don't know why the men always resort to using Bible as an excuse. But I must say, treat your wife, you know, like your wife, treat your husband like your husband, respect each other. It's not a matter of me being superior than you because I'm making more. You understand? And you know, in fact, on the other side, when men make more too, they tend to treat their women like, you know, less than. It's like it's almost as if you're receiving an allowance. Instead of say, maybe I need something
because the women allow it.
Okay.
You know, there's certain women allow that. I mean, that's
it goes both ways.
And that's going to be the conversation we'll have in the final round when the men join us, because their men are complaining about how bossy women become when they earn more. But it looks like women are also realizing that it takes a lot more than saying, give me money. Sometimes you have to go on your knees to beg to be given money and all that. And they don't want to be treated like that anymore. So they've reasoned up. They're making more money, and now you're complaining. Well, the men join us in a bit for the Battle of the Sexes here on the G-Spot. We're back soon.
But Ben may be anyone that will earn a lot. And I may say, oh, my dear, you and I know this, and it's for sure. But when the woman earns more, that moment, you will know that from the rooftop of the house to the house.
If my wife is that powerful and we go out, I will not put my hand behind me and then, you know, like, hey,
that is you.
Hey, because but how do you
know? Then
it's there.
Now you're still watching Joy Prime. This is the G-Spot with me, Mzgee, and we are here for the Battle of the Sexes. Now, if you just tune in, we've been discussing, are men intimidated by the earnings or the paycheck of their partner? So if her paycheck is bigger than yours, are you intimidated? Do you think that she becomes arrogant when she begins to earn more than you do? And we have had the men do or say what they know or what they think about it. The women have also put out their reactions, and now we have all of them. So for those of you who just tuned in no particular order, let me introduce to you my guest. Now, from the extreme left, we have Bessa Simon, who is a musician and the vice president of the Musician Union of Ghana. Next to Bessa is Angela Bamford, who is a TV presenter at Kwesi TV. Next to Angela is Dcryme, a musician. He's got a latest one out titled Model. He'll tell us about who is modeling for him very soon. And then the woman herself, Stephanie Benson. You can't even get angry when you hear this name. You just would start to beam because she's full of life. And she is also a musician and a mother of 5. And she's bringing her experience to bear as we discuss this issue. Now, you're welcome, all of you, together.
That's it.
Thank you, Mzgee.
Okay. And Dcryme has been under a lot of fire. He and Bessa Simon, they've been receiving some backlash from the ladies whilst they had their turn. Unfortunately, they did the first round. So you couldn't have the luxury of knowing what the ladies, you know, had to say. So let's take your reactions, listening to the ladies first, and then we'll go on with some more.
Oh, ladies first.
They spoke, so let's take your reaction of all that you've heard them say about your submissions.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. Well, I mean, I listened to the ladies, and I think, you know, women have their power already.
You know, try not to think. Just think.
Okay.
Don't think.
Okay.
Now you are going to
women have their power already.
Yeah.
Women are very powerful. But the power for a woman is different from the man's power. You know?
What's the difference?
Oh, no, the difference, you know, women, you know how to get your things. The moment a woman tries to play a man's role because of something.
But what is a man's role? What exactly is a man's role?
Wait, I'll get there.
Okay.
I'll get there. For example, I mean, she mentioned Margaret Thatcher. Did you ever see Margaret Thatcher and Dennis Thatcher going out? Dennis has been made into this chicken.
He's been made like that.
No, it's not like that.
How do you know?
I knew Dennis when he was very powerful.
It's protocol. It's what they call protocol.
What kind of protocol is that?
No, that's the way it is.
The man cannot speak at home.
No?
You know.
How sure are you that he can speak at home?
But you can see a man who's been tamed. When the woman takes them out, you can see.
That's a weak man.
No, is that not supposed to be a man who knows the wife's profession, respects her position,
no, that is
and
different.
wants to, be... I'm just asking questions.
Wait, no, I hear what you say. But, I mean, if my wife is that powerful and we go out, I will not put my hand behind me and then, like...
That is you.
Because but
how do you know? That maybe his personality. No,
Dennis Thatcher.
That's his personality. Also, like I say, it's the way it should be.
Margaret Thatcher, may so rest in peace. But Obu Dennis,
Thank
you. I don't know.
How do you know?
Because I don't know.
But you are just assuming. So you're just assuming.
Yes, but my point is, women have their power, men have their power. You know, the women have this power that the moment they try to behave like, the man's power, it slows the man down in the bedroom, which is true.
That's not true. I have a husband who's very virile.
You are 1 in a million.
Oh, don't even go there. So I'm not 1 in a million.
No, but why would he slow him down in the bedroom?
Oh, because, okay, for example, you know how women talk in the bedroom. Even if the man is angry, they will do something. If the man is not, they can get the man to do so many things. And the man also have their power that they can make women do certain things. Once these roles change, Charlie, it's not easy. The man, that's where the man comes to the bedroom and you spark the car, you spark it. But
it takes a man who is not, like she said, who is insecure to want to go through that phase. Because once you believe that your woman is in control, she's a leader, she's a woman who at a certain time from the bedroom, and that's not in the bedroom, at a certain time is in charge of a flock. And so
or maybe I'm not explaining myself properly.
No, you didn't explain. See, that's a man. You see, you can't even think
exactly. That's my power.
Without your balls in place.
What I want to say is that you see, the topic says, are men intimidated by women if they make more? No. Men, when women get money and they are helping, our eye they collect. But you see, the power that comes with it. You see, I keep saying this.
Hey, we're in the glasses.
Now there's going to be.
Mission making me talk. Why you glasses making me talk?
You see, I keep saying this. I don't want to be too biblical about it, but God has.
Are you sure this Bible?
Because from generation, except he who doesn't believe in God, it's different. We all understand, and some way, somehow, we are by that. This is how it started. We can't take that fact from there. You and I were not there. We read about it, but we believe that it's God. Because I'm assuming risky. This is risky, and risky. Jah had a plan to create man first, before woman come.
Because he thought.
Yes, because man is supposed to lead.
And he thought
man
that if
is supposed to take care of the family.
First.
Yes, like I'm saying.
Okay, can I stop you there?
No.
Now we're talking about Adam and Eve, right?
Yes.
Okay, who was in control at that particular time when Eve came?
I mean, we all understand that there was a serpent who persuaded the woman. It wasn't Adam who persuaded the woman.
But then Eve actually asked or suggested to Adam to do it, and then you did it.
It wasn't
right?
suggesting.
That is power. That's
it wasn't
where power
suggesting.
started.
No.
Again, straight away.
And you see, this is where the power abusing comes in.
It's
just
not
like
abuse.
she said, because
you see, you were stupid enough to let your Johnny do the work for you,
he wasn't
and
stupid.
then you ate the apple.
You see, this is what happened.
Why is power?
Adam was the one who named everything.
How do you know? Were you there?
Because, like I said, everything there. Yes, he was given power and authority over all of these things.
Man actually
did you ever hear
to look up to God is when he said, "There she is." That's when the man looked up to God. Never did. The woman has always been in power. Just because we allow you some kind of,
that is your power.
No,
allowing us to
we allow you to feel like you're in charge. No, because we're always, listen, me, I'm the kind of person, I want a partner. I don't want to control anybody.
Exactly.
But then, you see, if we were talking about power,
You were
I will allow
one in a million that would let go when they have that power. The truth is that, listen, let me say this, please.
Listen, I let go of power. Not all women, most women.
Like the reason why I'm saying that you made mention of Eve being persuasive or suggested. To me, it wasn't suggesting because believe you me, not that Adam didn't have the sense. His eyes wasn't even opened. Oban in the chair says, he couldn't even. You see, the eyes wasn't open. But listen, you see, so that's what I'm saying. For the women to earn, it is never a bad thing because at the end of the day, like I said, I was sitting here and I said the same thing. Equal gender rights, I respect that. But the moment that power lands into the woman's hand, you're there.
So
because back home, let me give you an example. Forgive me if I'm speaking too many trees. But that will earn a lot. Oh my dear, you and I know this, and it's for sure. But when the woman earns more, that moment, you will know that from the rooftop of the house to the house and whatever the guys does. And you see, men, when we sit and we talk about, only when we have troubles that we're talking about. We don't discuss it. Why would you, a female, have a problem with a friend? Then the man outside will start hearing everything. Because the power and the triggers.
Exactly. Men don't education, actually.
We talk about bottles. We talk about some magazines we watch. We talk about some TV shows. But we don't talk about what our wives We are all learning.
No, because we experience no, I'm sure. No, but I'm sure he's sharing.
Exactly.
I know exactly what
love sweet past money, but now, right now, no money, no shorty.
Yeah, he said so.
Open it to me to Akolasu to me to Penny. No, but you know, rappers are very intelligent because we talk about things that we don't even know.
Also, exactly. Orientation. The difference could also be the orientation.
You ask
and
you know,
the difference could be
climbing like that.
Could be the orientation and the orientation and maybe where the setting in which he grew up, the kind of people he's also maybe what I'm so I'm sure that maybe per your orientation and maybe the exposure you've got, maybe this will sound, very, very, very strange.
To me.
No,
but now let me draw something. Uncle
Angela has been waiting to say something.
Very quiet.
Yes, Angela wants to speak.
Let me come in there. Like when I was speaking earlier, I said, I don't know why he always wants to bring the Bible into this course.
Forgive me.
Some of our viewers are Muslims. They believe in God, but they don't go by the Bible. You understand?
Exactly.
Some people are traditionalists. Some people are Buddhists. So let's
Why is this guy? No, it's fine. He can react. I'm just silly.
Now, what I believe is men have been conditioned, like you said, the way they are brought up, the values they are brought up with, the principles that are instilled in them. Look, I don't usually go for Ghanaian men, the typical Ghanaian men as I call them, is because of this kind of thinking. Thinking that because you're a man, I owe you something. They're so entitled. Oh, I'm a man, so I should be the head of the family. It's a feeling. Why don't you feel that first? I can't be in charge of your reaction. You understand? I will behave the way I want to behave. You are entitled to the way you react. You understand? You're a human being. You're an adult human being. It's up to you to think and behave the way you want to behave. When Uncle Simon was speaking, he said then the stature was like this. First of all, it may be his personality. Secondly, if you're the man
to be beaten at home,
he doesn't have the facts.
Angela, we posted this on social media. Yes. I'm going to read some of the reactions to you, and I'm sure that we'll get reactions from you to these reactions. So, Eshan says, and Eshan is a musician, she says, be flaunting your money. If she makes more money and suddenly feels she's the man of the house, that's great. I'll share my money. Sharing is caring. And Noy says, it looks like the only reason she's with him is for the money. Therefore, her behavior will change when she begins to earn more than he does. Such a lady is called a gold digger. And Mzgee, great topic. At the same time, it could be intimidating because the Bible says the man must provide if not all.
Provide what?
So when you are in a relationship where the woman is providing the majority of the needs, sister, that's daunting and a financial harassment. That's from Nana Yao Icon. And Nana Ikwabna Japan says, now I don't care if my wife is a billionaire, I will even collect all the money. And Frema manager says, or Fremi manager says, in their broke self and left with 50% cuteness, they will still want to intimidate you. So having more money will not make any difference. Men will be slaves, and that's what he says.
Thank you.
And Awoya says, can you imagine, shaking my head, a guy told me he would never date a lady with a car, all because she won't respect him. I'm like, go create the kind of lady you want. If you don't work, problem. If you work to problem. That's a woman complaining. And Romantic Nanaya says, for me, I see nothing wrong with that. If only the man will feel comfortable spending my money. The most important thing is love.
Our money, said, exactly, not mine.
Listen, let me just take this a little seriously now, because I know we've sort of been going back and forth, but it's a typical example that I want to give. My sister, and I hope she doesn't mind me speaking about her, and I'm not talking about the one you all know, this is one of my other sisters, has been married for 22 years. And for the first 6 years of their marriage, they were both earning money. He was making more than her. And it was fine. She'd come home, she'll still cook, she'll still look after the children. She has 4 children right now. And everything was, hunky-dory for a while. And then as, I think about the 6th year, his business started to go down a little bit. And then my sister, obviously my father's factory, she was working in there. And, she's a good businesswoman, works, bringing the money home. After the 7th year, he started to beat her, although she was providing for the household. She would still come home. He would be sitting in the chair, waiting for her to come home to feed him. They had house girls and house boys, but then he will not eat until she gets home to lay the table and feed him. And she was making much more money, but she'll do it because that's how she started. You see, she started that way and she kept it going. And then if they go out and she looks at anybody else, he would beat her when they get home. And he used to beat her not on her face, in the places where she'll have to hide it. So my sister for 15, 20 years, about 15, 17 years, was being beaten until one time somebody called him and said my sister was at a cinema with a guy. Now he thought that it was a guy. It was his own son my sister was with. But because he didn't know, he dragged my sister out of the cinema, beat her, and then realized, and then the son came out and said, Daddy, it's me. Because he's a tall, big boy, the son. He has never paid for the school fees, never bought diapers, never done anything. She did everything, and she was still the woman. And now we talked her into leaving him. And I'll tell you something. I found him, and I beat his ass.
Oh, yes.
I was that angry. I flew from London when I found her. My sister did not tell us at all she was being beaten. But we knew she was the one who was making the money. See, this is where my passion comes from. So when men like you, young boys like you, talk like this, I really have a problem with it because I think you just don't understand the bigger picture. Yes, maybe there might be women who might want to be in control, but the real fact is there's some women who feel the need to please the man, whether they're making money or not.
Exactly.
But in this case, what do you think will be the problem? He's just insecure, and he's afraid that because he's not bringing anything to the table, she might be seeing somebody else, and he feels less of a man.
When I was speaking earlier, I mentioned that men are conditioned.
No, I asked a question. I thought you were going to answer. Let me
I'm going to answer.
Oh, you're going to answer. Yeah, I thought a man would take
When I was speaking earlier, I mentioned that men are entitled. They feel entitled to be respected like a man. I don't even know what that means, like a man. Now, when your question is based on what she narrated, I have a similar story. And this, no, not me. And this was actually my own mother.
Whoa.
All right, who was beaten for 23 years only because she wasn't bringing anything in. He had that power over her. You understand? She's illiterate, on school that can't work, to get a lucrative, job, that kind of stuff. Now, because of that, he felt that you can't leave me because you don't have money. You see?
But you don't even have a qualification.
You don't even have the qualifications to even get a good job. to make money for yourself and use that over her head and abuse her for 23 years. Wow. You understand? So when he was speaking and he said that men gather and say, they gather and they don't say, oh, my husband, you know, I give my wife money, da, da, da. It's not true. They may not say it, but they do other things that say it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So Dcryme, like Stephanie said,
let me say this.
It's not a black and white situation. There's a lot of gray area. Some women will abuse it, absolutely. You understand?
And let me tell you just
but
very
some
quickly,
women who will respect you while they do it.
After they've been divorced, my sister sent all her children to America. They're all studying. They all become something. They're all running their own companies. This man has not got a penny. You know, he got a stroke not long ago. And guess who paid the bill? My sister's divorced him. She had to go and pay the bill for it. And then I heard him actually bad-mouthing her again. Now he talks like this. And I know, no, honestly, listen, I'm making fun of it because I'm so annoyed with him. Because now, and he can't talk properly, and my sister paid the whole bill, and he's still bad-mouthing. Just 6 months ago, he was talking to a friend of mine, he was saying, oh yeah, she used to see other men. You know, and I'm thinking, she paid your bill. You know, so
it's very unfortunate.
But Stephanie, you know what? I think on a more serious note, I think, you know, men shouldn't be intimidated.
No, exactly.
You have to be partners. Yes. I mean, from my own experience, mine is different because I have looked after all my kids. I have 4 girls, 1 boy. And I want my girls to be in a relationship that, you know, they are partners. They can think together, have a beautiful future, be happy together, you know. I think they have to plan it together. Exactly. You know, in Ghana, it's different, but if you have lived outside, I was in marriage for 13 years until my wife passed away. But if I come home first,
marry me, also Sunday.
If I come home first, I cook. Wow. And my kids.
Maybe because of the orientation. In Ghana, are you sure you can tell a man to, well, I don't know about
my dad. But you see, my father, I'm a very good rice cooker. My father didn't know how to
rice cooker.
I remember when we were growing up, my mother was sick. She was admitted at the hospital. My dad cooked and nobody ate. You know, but I think we have to start being supportive. It doesn't matter who brings in the money.
But
you have to think and manage it.
Would it ever change? Would you think that we'll get to a point where men can actually, you know, feel secured, when their partner is earning more than they do? Will you marry a woman? Let me even put it straight. Would you marry a woman who is earning more than you?
I mean, marriage goes a long way. And I can understand like how people have been there and done that. Because with them, I only learn from them. But with my own perspective of where I'm sitting from, I know with the vows, it says for better, for worse.
Yeah.
Right?
For what?
For worse. It means the bad side of it. So with that one, you have to cope with both. Even to the extent of where, when he or she can be able to do any other thing. Because this is the, excuse me to say, I always say this is the food that you're stuck with. You need to chop that thing alone. Till you, whatever, until it's unfortunate. But again, it comes back to the same this topic we're talking about. I keep saying this. As men being intimidated by women when they earn more. Absolutely. On a normal, they know. But the action that comes with it. And when I make a know.
Which is
when they change.
This man, he needs a good shot.
The action that comes with it.
Benson.
Oh my goodness.
Did you give her wine?
No.
Juice.
She's already on her high. So, but Dcryme tried not to answer the question. But the question is, would you marry one?
Why not? You see, the beautiful thing is that
how will you
let me be frank with you.
They're changing your tune.
No, for real. This is how I graduate.
After
my confusion kaka. I'm not gonna lie. You see, the truth is that to go in for somebody who's earning more than I do, you see, like, we have to look at the love and the relationship first before the numbers. Because if it's about numbers, I'm sure people are even okay having the numbers, don't even need lovers. But again, if she's earning more, Anka, why not? So that is if we are into this together. But like I said, the to me and the power that comes with it. Anything I make her say, it is dangerous. You see. So
in that case, how are you going to handle the powers that you've been talking about that come
with a woman thing? Me like this, I don't like insheswa. You know, and I feel like the moment that the money comes in, if we are on the same at the Dana or Dana. Why not? Who's?
But you think that?
But you see, that's man. Yes, it's a Kaya, bro. And if I'm not saying it right.
The Bible says that a man and a woman become one. You understand? Your money is our money. My money is our money. You need help.
But do you think the women also agree? Do they come to realization?
That's why I said,
because I've heard, and
on
in this show we've said before, people have said, my money is my money, and your money as a man is our
money. It's a one
mentality.
That's why I was saying some women believe that, you know, they act that way. Let's be honest.
Is it right or wrong?
It's that's not for me to answer.
Per your belief.
For my belief, for a woman to be bossy, I don't say it's wrong or right. I just say it's not correct.
I like bossy women.
Wait, hold on.
Whether you have money or you don't.
Let me finish. Let me clarify.
You?
Who sets the standard for right? It's between you and your man. You understand? If your man, some men like bossy women, like he was saying. So if you're bossy in if you're
like just in the bedroom,
like, you see. But for me, when I was speaking earlier, I said I don't go for the typical Ghanaian man because of this mentality, and I can't handle that.
What was the typical Ghanaian man like?
The typical Ghanaian man believes that
Dcryme.
he has a shaft, I have a vagina, so he is above me.
Oh, but I can have a shaft too.
Hey.
I have a strap on. And when I use it, I don't care whether you're a man or a woman.
Stephanie, you lie.
I have a boyfriend, right? He has his own company. He makes way more than I do. I make some, but he makes way more than I do. But guess what? When I go home, there's food there. It's not, my closing from my Juma 9-10 p.m. He sometimes he does
because he's not Ghanaian.
Oh, he's Ghanaian, but
not a typical.
He hasn't got the Ghanaian mindset.
But not the the typical Ghanaian man. That's why I said typical. Because there are some Ghanaian men who don't think this way.
Do you mean the ones from Ekrasi?
No. The people who are yeah.
Yes.
I think.
But you know, for what you are saying, that's why I said, you know, there's a place where women can have their power.
Yes.
But
not the bedroom. It's not just the bedroom.
No, that was a joke. What cook room? Wouldn't your wife and your girlfriend your cook room? You know, the woman has changed. So now, in the midst of your friends, you sit down.
Keep quiet.
Keep quiet. We so okay people know it no it.
Ebia woni ni nya de ni ye. Woni ni ye de ye na wo kan bofu because he share na.
Stephanie.
Into then one in here. Of course, who is on this couch? If you have money, you don't have money. If you're not doing it right, of course. And now say you're out there and you're looking at other women who are walking by. Of course, you'd be upset.
No, that is different.
Sometimes it's just circumstances that make the woman behave that way. It's not just.
That's not what I'm saying.
For me, if I'm with my man, I don't want you to look at another woman. I want you only to look at me.
Of course.
And also when I'm talking to you, I'll talk. If you're standing too long, you're talking rubbish. I said, please,
get closer.
Yeah.
But Steph, okay.
But
wait. Yeah, what I'm saying is different. When you go out there, you have to
we interpret things different. I remember my father disowned one of my sisters because she said, "Don't be silly." Sometimes. Yes, my father disowned my. Because it's just like mindset. Because sometimes we take things as an insult. Some of the things I say, you guys make headlines, but for me, it's just.
In Ghana, don't be silly.
But you see, generally,
Stephanie, there's the way you say it. It's how you say it. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. If you're going to shut up, it's wrong.
Thank you.
It's a playful word, but you see, with women, generally. There's two things I've learned with women. Generally, it's always never enough.
That's what?
It's a saying. When they say it's always never enough, just say, I
have a pump. What the show I make a second caca? What's not enough?
No,
that's what you mean.
No, I mean with women generally.
I'm taking it to the gutter, right?
With women, that's one thing I've learned. So it's always never enough.
Yeah, but it is that way.
No, don't.
And here one.
Leave it.
Madam Fubisu catch me say, when you have a woman, make sure that you buy a pin for her because no matter the way so when you power now, so I end the case today. Now all the actions that come, I will receive it.
Let me give you an example of a woman, a very powerful woman who has a husband that can handle it. The Prime Minister of New Zealand, when she was pregnant, after 3 months, she had to go back and guess who was taking care of the child at home?
her husband. And when they interviewed him about how it feels to be a husband at home, your wife in a powerful position like that, he was like, look, we're partners. It's my child too. You understand? It's my home too. We are partners. We are creating a story together. We are on a journey together. It's not about me, yes, someone. I say, this is the gender roles. That's what I don't agree with. What am I saying? And he said, will you go hungry? You see what I'm saying?
I just think it's all about upbringing. It's about mentality. It's about ignorance. It's about all of those kind of things. And I think that's what we have to learn. We have to understand that everybody's experience is a little different.
Our money is our money.
But generally, no.
Yeah.
It's like mine. Listen, some people have bank accounts. If you're married, you have your own bank account. Your wife has her own. And they don't join it. Sometimes I hear some of my friends who are married say, I'm going to borrow money from my house. I'm thinking, what?
Yeah.
I mean, my money is our money. So we have a joint account. And then that's it. I mean, I have a separate account sometimes to give to my family, but my husband knows about that account. It's for my family, so I put it aside. So if they need, when I say family, I mean like extended family. They always come and hand out. So then I have to, and I even set up a business just so it would fund them. So I'm not bothered so much. That's why I'm here so much. So I think sometimes you can make it work between you, but having separate accounts when you're a partnership, for me, doesn't work. But it works for some people because of it works.
What about royalties? Royalties? Is it for the family or?
What do you mean royalties? As money?
As an artist, royalties.
Listen, the money comes into Stephanie Benson account or Princess, because I have two names. Now, when it comes in, I put it straight into our account, my husband and I. The same way he actually invests in a lot of shares. Yes, because it's in his name. He has shares. And when he gets the dividends and he gets the percentages, it goes into our account. You see, you can manage it. Everybody has like different, and listen, I spend more money than he does because, I have to look good. But then I would go out and shop for him as well, or he could go out. But then men, you see, your things are much more expensive than we can find bargains. But men, when you dress well, it's much more expensive. Am I wrong? So, so I may buy 10 things, but he might just buy one will be the same amount of money. So you just have to balance things. Like I said before, you really need to be shagged properly. You'll be fine.
And on that note, that was the end of this edition of G-Sport, where we've been talking about how men get intimidated. The men say they don't get intimidated. Dcryme says there's a power that comes with women earning more than a man does, and that's what he's afraid of. The women do not agree. They've shared experiences of stories that they've heard, and I hope that you also have picked a lesson or two from this episode. My name is Mzgee. Thanks to Okadeko for hosting us, and we'll be back again next week with another edition. So thanks to Bessa Simon, thanks to Stephanie, thanks to Dcryme, and thanks to Angela. Have a good evening.